Welcome back to the Alpha Strike, everybody, and we are here to present to you the May kit for the OP figures. This is the what do they call this one? This is Justice
World's
League?
Finest.
World's Finest is what
World's
this was?
Finest OP kit. Yep.
Okay, so this is World's Finest, featuring Huntress, Power Girl, and the Flash. We're going to cover these the same way we always have. I'm going to take one, Eric's going to take one, we're going to share one, and we'll give you our ratings on what we think that they're worth at the end.
Although it might be Earth 2.
Earth 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Earth 2, not World's Finest.
Sorry.
I thought it had something to do with Earth 2 or the Wonders of the World.
Yeah. We'll figure it out and put it in the title so it's correct, but I'm pretty sure it's Earth 2 OP kit.
All right. So I'm going to start off with Huntress. This collector's number is D17001. We actually got these ones in the correct order, unlike the Marvel ones. Keywords: Gotham City, martial artist, real name Helena Wayne. Point value 50 points. Batman TA has one trait. At the beginning of your turn, choose one power that the Huntress can use until your next turn. Hypersonic speed or ranged combat expert. When she uses hypersonic speed, modify her speed value by -2. Now I know you might be saying, what? Come on. My thought was, how in the world does she have hypersonic speed? I mean, is she breaking the sound barrier, jumping from shadow to shadow? I don't think so. But, as Eric was telling me, this comes down to, it seems like they're leaping from the shadows, hitting you, and then leaping back into the shadows.
Like a guerrilla warfare kind of stuff.
So I believe that's why they've given her sidestep for her first 3 clicks. You start in the hindering, sidestep out 2 squares, hypersonic can hit them and break away, or, I guess it is a break, and then go back into your hindering so you can take advantage of that Batman TA while hiding. And then she's got willpower with 6 range, so if you're bunkered down in stealth and you don't want to jump out there and get somebody, take that shot with ranged combat expert instead, giving yourself anywhere from a 12 and 3, 11 and 4, or 10 and 5 on that shot.
With a 50-point character, man.
With 50-point character, 10
insane.
and 5. Being able to sidestep around, get in position, drops to precision strike mid-dial, and then goes into leap climb and close combat expert. So we've got stealth and close combat expert, which are great combos. Leap climb to be able to get around, get away, where you need to be, and can still pick hypersonic speed or range combat expert or whole dial. So I'm not even scoffing at those 9s because those could be 11s for days.
Yep.
So 50 points. Wow.
Probably,
just gonna say it.
Probably a definite pickup. You'll see our review here soon, guys.
All right, Eric, who you got?
So I have got the other piece of this puzzle, Power Girl, DC 17002, Kryptonian Metropolis keywords, 100 points. So now you can play the Earth 2 World's Finest at 150 points rather than the 200 back in Superman Wonder Woman. So if you like that value for value, you have some options here. So she has a trait and a special defense power. The trait is called Heritage and Attitude. At the beginning of your turn, choose one to last until your next turn. Power Girl can use super strength and modifies her attack value by +1 while holding an object. So that's very, very important. So you have to have an object to get the +1. It's not just a static for picking super strength. So new rules, can't go, 12 attack, 4 damage with knockback. It's all good. Or Power Girl can use Battle Fury. So you look down the field, you see that pesky shape change, and it's like, you know what?
Girls of Fury.
Touche. She does have Superman allies, so she sees through hindering. So she's not hindered by movement or sight. She can shoot if she so wishes. Does have no range, so never mind.
Or I guess I could just say symbiote for the shape change, because everybody gets that now.
Everyone loves symbiote. And then she has a defense power on the last 4 clicks of her dial, which gives her toughness and willpower. So her first 2 clicks, of course, give you charge with impervious, 17, 18 with 3. So you second click, bigger defense, less damage output, totally fine. But the last 4, you have sidestep the entire dial with that toughness, willpower, and the last 2 have close combat expert, giving you either like I said, 11 and 2 or 9 and 4 if you feel so lucky with those dice rolls.
Got that Superman TA in there as well, ignoring hindering terrain for line of fire and movement purposes.
She has no range, so she's not shooting, unfortunately, but you can throw objects.
There you go.
And
6 squares.
And with the new rules, 6 squares either way. That's not too shabby.
Hey, there you go. That was a better idea for that super strength. So I was talking with Eric about this, and because you have to pick that power, every turn, you have to pick up the object as part of a movement action.
Yes.
So you could sidestep, pick up the object, and then throw it. But if you had it from before, beginning of your turn, you're going to drop it because you have to pick the super strength again. And if they're basing you, you can't move and pick up the object unless you break away. So I was like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of getting in there and then they base you and you drop the object. But now that I think about it, if you sidestep, pick up the object, and then throw it, busting stealth, there you go. And you get +1 to your attack when you do that because it's an object attack with the new rules.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
So she has utility more so, I think, in the new rules than the current ones. But these late dial sidestep, if you do get based while you held an object, had to drop it and they based you, if you're later dial because they hit you, you can go, okay, I'll choose that first power, sidestep break. If you hit it, take my object with me, and then
hit him back with it or throw it at him.
Well,
no, you could sidestep out and sidestep back in, so you're still adjacent.
Yes.
I like it.
It's a little more tricky on top dial, but she does have that 11-4, so they kind of made it a little bit tricky. Like, do you really want to take that breakaway charge? So, I get it. But, dude, solid figure. I would play her on any Kryptonian team and or Metropolis myself. You pair her with any kind of TK or something, get her more range. She gets out there and thump.
All right, and last in the three, we have the Flash, DC 17-003, Wonders of the World and Speedster. Real name, Jay Garrick, so we got a Jay Garrick here. And that dial, man, this is the Flash that I was hoping to see out of Joker's Wild, to be honest.
This is a solid Jay Garrick Flash. I love the caution they chose, too.
Yeah, that's an interesting take on that helmet. Definitely, Earth 2. It has the Wonders of the World ATA for 5 additional points, which would take him up to 80. He's normally 75. You can give a character using this ability a power action to heal adjacent friendly character 1 click. Heal 2 clicks instead if the adjacent character has the Wonders of the World keyword. Then deal the character given the action 1 unavoidable damage.
Alright, he then has a speed power called Can Barely Hold Still. The Flash can use Flurry, Hypersonic Speed, and Sidestep.
Sounds like somebody gave him a little bit too much Mountain Dew.
Drinking that super Mountain Dew. So, this is very interesting to me. They did this. I'm not sure if this is what they've always done. I can't recall. But remember in the new rules articles, they were going to start doing like special power, comma, power, comma. Mm-hmm. This almost follows that formula.
Really?
Very close. It has Flash can use Hypersonic Speed, Flurry, and Sidestep. So no longer can you use Flurry and Sidestep and whatever. It's all just more spacious. So that's really great. Now, this is really awesome because for 75 points, I know it seems like a lot more than 50-point Hypersonic Helena over there. But you're getting 12 speed with the Sidestep, right? So that's 14 squares you're moving through. Doesn't have any kind of improved movements. You watch out for the hindering, the water, all that kind of stuff like that. But he gets in there, whaps you, has 10 attack, 2 damage, but has Perplex. So you can kind of allocate that Perplex. Like, do I want to hit for sure? Do I want more damage? New rules, he'll have, no light object. Dang it, I keep forgetting that rule.
Can't light object that hypersonic. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. However, you can, I believe, pick one up as you run, but not using your attack, because it's a May thing now.
So he could sidestep, pick up the light object, and throw it with the Perplex. Man, this guy is just getting better by the second with those new rules.
Grab it, sidestep in, flurry you with it. Oh, so he's doing the Perplex up your 3, and then
there you go.
That's 6 damage on a Flash.
Wow.
Or 7, yeah, whatever. That's really, really good. So you have to think of him not as being able to hypersonic flurry like Quicksilver or Speed Demon could do in their dials. His is more, which one should I do or am I able to at this current moment? Because if he gets based with the new rules, hypersonic, if he has to break away and fails, now he's stuck. The next turn he has sidestep break hypersonic, or if I can't break, I'll go ahead and just flurry you to death from right here. And he has an impressive 18 defense with super senses, and then drops down into the last 2, which is 19 with willpower and shape change. So he's got a rollout on both ends of the spectrums, and with the new rules, super senses gets way better.
Yeah.
So this Flash overall for 75 points, very, very, very just specialized in what he can do. He's doing damage. He wants to make justice happen.
Yeah, I think this Flash, I was looking at the dial. If you drop the shape change and, even take away the sidestep flurry, this is what I would have expected to see in that 35-point JSA Flash overall. This is going to replace that JSA Flash, in my opinion, as soon as I have one for my collection. I'll gladly pay the extra 40 points to get the just a little bit extra in there to where he can actually do 3 damage, be useful, have some flurry, sidestep, just everything that I need him to be where he needs to be there.
One comment I want to make, though, is really weird to me, and I'm sure these were designed at a point where they did not make this decision yet. The ATA is on here because it was a new ATA in Superman Wonder Woman. They decided to rotate ATAs into Golden Age when the new rotation hits.
So I don't think this one will rotate because this is something you pay additional for that's actually on the card. The previous ATAs that were generated, that you add them to the team as a whole team, that's one. So the thing with these ATAs, you can pay for these individually. So I could have a Wonders of the World theme team, but only pay for the Wonders of the World on the one character, to how this is worded. And so, because with ATAs, you had to pay for everybody. So if I put it on my team, I had to pay for it for every person who could have it. But with the way it's on this card, I think you can elect specifically just for each character you want to have it.
You may want to look that up later because it's still an ATA. I don't think that's correct.
Well, it wouldn't make any sense if they're still printing that.
But like I said,
it could retire ATAs altogether.
It could have been printed before the decision too.
But then you're retiring something that's on figures that are still as recent and modern as Wonder Woman.
I know.
So I think they're going to come back and tell us that's pretty well how that's going to work.
We'll find out soon, guys. The future will tell. All right. So moving on to our reviews on the figures.
All right. Up first, we'll have the Huntress. I am so impressed with this figure. I'm just going to jump straight to a 5. There is no reason to not give her a 5. Hypersonic, ranged combat expert, 50 points, being able to deal out 5 damage, 12 attack, stealth, dropped in combat reflexes, still able to move around, hypersonic for days. I mean, wow. 50 points.
Value, huh?
50 points. I mean, sure, there's a lot of things she can't do. Precision strike, Pensai, things you'd think you'd see from a bat belt wielding type character. But, for what they built her to be, previously in the past, we've said a lot of these figures seem very uninspired. This figure, very inspired.
They took a little bit more time with this. I agree. I'm going to give her a 4, only on the premise that she doesn't have all the bat belt powers. As a Wayne, I feel, even though she has the ranged combat expert so she can shoot hard, and so she can move and attack, not being able to do, penetrating damage or if non-evasive damage, like precision strike, or guarantee that hit. Because I would feel a Wayne would know the pressure points. And
she does get precision strike later.
Later, yes. So she does have that, which is going for her. I wish she had top dial. That's just me. So 4 for me, solid. But I would play her every day.
I agree. And that would have been nice, but I think that would have easily brought her up to 75. And I like that 50-point total.
Yeah. If I want to play Power Girl and Huntress, 150 is fine. Because that's where you play Batman and Superman at. You want to play them at that point value. Yep. Easy, if you can. So,
wow, you could do Batman, Superman, Shifting Focus, and then Huntress and Power Girl. Double world's finest.
Totally good.
All
right. So, moving on to Power Girl.
So, Power Girl, there's a lot of stuff going on here with her. She's going to be a more complex character overall. I really wish they would have said that she got to keep that super strength until they choose again.
Yeah.
And that I really wish they would have dropped her into Invuln instead of Toughness on that special defense power. But I like the way the card moves. And for 100 points, she's very well costed. Unfortunately, I'm still going to have to give her a 4. She's just not on that higher end 5 range where I feel like I'm just, robbing the bank when I'm getting this character. But she's still really good and definitely playable at 100 points. For ID card call-ins, because we do get 2 of them, we get both Supergirl, which grants damage value by +1 and attack value by +2 on Power Girl. As an ID card call-in for 100 points, I'm just going to have to rank her in at a 3 because she will be good for that one decent hit and to get out of there, but you're not going to be able to sidestep away and evaporate her, and I don't know how useful those inspirations are going to be when you bring her in at 100 points.
Yeah, it's definitely like you're using one of your main attackers in a 300-point team to call her in. Instead. And then it's like, oh, well, she gives +1 damage or +2 to your attack. Do you have a tertiary attacker who's going to benefit from this inspiration? Maybe, maybe not. So usually you have a secondary attacker, but he's absolutely right. So as a character, okay, I do love my Metropolis stuff. Her, Superman, Lois Lane could be an awesome little team together. But I'm like, for 100 points, one of my favorite point values on a figure has always been 100. I feel I get the character in all of their glory usually in that kind of point value. They did get the flight, they did get the super awesome like attack value and damage value for a Supergirl kind of feel with Power Girl here. And I like just the willpower dial too, and enough to stay with nines to use close combat expert and deal more and be able to attack. She has that staying power. Now as a call-in, she can also take a hit and hopefully not die and lose an extra 105 points. But so back on topic. For her as a character, my rating will be a 4 out of 5. Because for 100 points, I feel I'm getting a strong primary attacker who can get in there, deal a huge hit with 6 damage with a heavy in the new rules. Ultra heavy still for her is a 7 damage. So that's just great. As ID card call-ins, I like Mike's 3, just because you are basically replacing one of your main attackers, whether they're dying or on top dial, with another attacker who only gets 5 squares, which is what her charge range is anyways, but then she's going to be able to take a hit, which she can do. So 3 is fair. If you feel you want to go ahead and take 7 or 6 damage with this over your primary range attacker, for whatever reason, they're getting too close to your range shot to make it be effective, or they're in stealth, you can't shoot them, because stealth is so prevalent these days. Improved targeting is like almost gone, it seems like sometimes. This is 3 for that, for both cards. So,
All right. And then on to the Flash. As a figure, I'm blown away. For 75 points, this is everything that I wanted to see in the Joker's Wild Flash. I'm just going to give him a 5.
Cool.
Just out the door. You said your favorite point value is 100. I prefer 75. It feels like it's that right amount of balance that they can squeeze some stuff in there, and I would be able to put a full 4 figures on a 300-point team,
Yep.
so that if somebody gets taken out, I've still got those 3 actions, and I do have that option of a leadership in there to get up to 4. I personally think 75 is that perfect range there, and I mean just having that perplex and the flurry, being able to do what could be 6 damage or 11 attack for 2 a pop, or even if I'm out there, I can up my defense and be at a 19 defense, 20 in hindering, being able to sidestep out and then either sidestep up to you and flurry you, or hypersonic and get away. This guy, wow. I mean, he doesn't even need improved ignore character bases or anything like that.
The sidestep is definitely a plus. I forgot about the utility of that. Being able to, like, oh, I'm in water. Oh, I'm in smoke cloud. I'll just sidestep out.
Yep. So that's my rating. I'm going to give him a 5 just as a character. You can go for him or the Huntress first off. As an ID card, because he's 75 points, he's a little bit lower, but when I look for my ID cards, I look for that magical 60 or lower, so I can get figures like Mystique who can pull them in, that she is so hard to pin down and hit that it's okay that I'm not attacking with her. He's decent for 75, especially with that flurry. Get him in there, sidestep over, flurry twice, but then you've got to wait for him to survive, and if he takes a hit, he's done. So,
However, though, on that note, he can poof.
true, you could hypersonic then poof away. Okay, but you wouldn't get that advantage of the flurry, which is what I would be looking for 3 and 3 for a total 6 damage on that flurry. So you can go out there, get that 3 and run away, or you can do the flurry. So overall, with the modify speed value by +3, I would have to give him, I'm going to go with a 4 on the ID card, just because he's got a lot of utility there. He's not perfect, but he's not average either. So.
And for the keywords you get with this guy, he can fit some good teams. I mean, Wonder of the World isn't huge right now. Only has one real set devoted to it, unfortunately. Yeah. But a Speedster, they have quite a few of those. Unfortunately, most of them are rotating. We'll miss you, Flash. Flashes.
Flash set.
So many flashes. But as an E-card call-in, I agree with Mike. 4 is solid because that 75-point value is easy to call in for a lot of characters. Deadpool wants to break one turn.
What did you say for his regular one?
Did I not say it yet?
I didn't catch it if you did.
Rewind. So, coming back to my things. As a character, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Only because if you get caught in the wrong spot, he's only 4 clicks deep for 75 points. An object attack that hits and he can't super sense out.
Oh, he's done.
He's just done. And you just lost 75 points because you misjudged a movement, or you couldn't quite get away, or you failed to break away and you're stuck there. things could happen. He does have that one downside, which is totally fine. Characters should not be brutally overpowered. Have utility, but he can be easily quite one shot. Whereas, Helena has 5, Power Girl has
A lot.
6. They could both take a solid hit and still be in there for at least 1 click of life.
So 4 on the Flash as a figure,
Yes.
as an ID card call-in.
As an ID card call-in, definitely a 4 for me. I like the +3 speed. If I have a team of speedsters, giving another one an extra +3 speed for their movement, it's like, get up there, KC Flash.
I know. I love the Flash ID card call-in because you can get that +3 movement, and that just supercharges any running shot or charge that you have, because you half and then modify. So if I was a 6 charge, that goes to a 3, but then +3, I'm back to a 6. So I've got a full range charge at that point. Same with running shot. I could go to a full range running shot. That's huge late game, especially if you're doing something as low as a 35-point flash that you're just, need that boost, or even 75 that he can give that boost to you, get the everybody else running first, and then he runs in there, finishes it off, and disappears. I mean, there's a lot of utility there.
That's totally what you can do, because you can just stand there, give your guy inspiration, go, and then he'll be like, okay, my turn, whoop, bam, and then run away. Or he's right here, flurry, 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 and then maybe not die 18 protective defense or whatever. But yeah, great piece overall. I know I've seen some negativity from some of the community on these OP figures. Guys, they're OP figures. These are meant for stores to get for wicked cheap, to have some kind of price support for you guys to come to their venue and play for these. They're not meant to be worth $50. They're not meant to be worth the chase. Like, I want a local event, I deserve a $50 piece. Some stores do booster prizes. Some stores do these. It really depends where you go.
I really like the fact that the OP figures last longer than a regular set rotation.
They generally have a longer lifespan,
and
too.
so this Huntress is going to be good for a long time. Same with Power Girl, Flash, all the other ones. And it's a matter of the power level they come out at. We do these reviews, and we try and be as brutally honest about them, because we want you to know what prize you're gunning for. And I have to say, hats off to WizKids on this particular OP kit, because we didn't come in on anything less than a 4 for the actual figures. ID cards, that's a flavor. If you play those a lot, that's your thing. But these figures are amazing. I mean, I would expect to see this come out of a set. A lot of these, I would see it being either rare or super rare level for their powers that they have. So, I mean, this one, spot on. If you guys have events you go to and you can win these, try and win all 3. I would personally prioritize the Huntress and the Flash, but try and get Power Girl too, because she's way awesome.
I mean, you can definitely mod this sculpt for other things later, so. For you crazy Power Girl modder fans, so.
They just get bigger every issue.
Every issue.
All right, enough comic book lore. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you found this helpful to decide what figure that you're going to be out there going for that W for, to try and win at your local venue when these come out. We try and get these out to you as quickly as possible as soon as we get our hands on the figures, so that you guys have that information and know when it's time to pull out those blades, claws, fangs, and teeth and fight for the win, versus just go and play and have some fun for the night.
Please, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and always tell us how we're doing. And if you have time, check out our Patreon. We have some cool rewards on there. See what you got. Every bit of support helps. Appreciate you guys. And always remember,
strike first
and strike hard.